everybody. It's Susan, certified functional nutritionist, and we are here again with Suzanne. And we had just finished an episode prior to this where she just made my face all beautiful with amazing makeup that she uses. And we are going to talk about skin health because skin health is very important. And I'm excited to dive into this because I don't think a lot of people know the skin is a living organ. It really is, and it's made up of cells, and it's just not the thing where we can just rub lotion on or sunscreen on and it doesn't affect it. Right. So we're very conscious, and this makeup that you use, it's gluten-free, it's relatively chemical.
Relatively clean, has very few chemicals, but we do forget that the skin is the largest organ.
Yes.
And that a lot of times, you look at some of the medications that are used for even people with heart conditions, people with hormone issues, and they'll do it transdermally, which means they will put it on top of the skin to let it absorb. So you have to remember that everything we put on our skin gets absorbed into our system and our bloodstream. So we want to make sure that we look for the healthiest things that we can. So that's why I was looking for makeup and things to put on the outside. Makeup, lotion, sunscreen, all of those kinds of things. You just need to read the labels and do your homework.
Well, and it's interesting because we are dealing with a chronic inflammation epidemic, and everything that your skin is exposed to does affect internally. I mean, just with the toxins and just the environment, pollutions, and that's stress.
Yes.
And that's why it's really important. You do need to pay attention to your skin and your surrounding areas, of where you're at, just because you don't know what your skin is absorbing. Right. And so that makes me want to step into hydration, because water is a great benefit. Right. To really help rejuvenate your skin and to really hydrate your whole body.
Right. If you're dehydrated,
yes.
What do you see? You see dry, flaky skin.
Yes.
A lot of times you can see more of a sunken face. Your eyes aren't quite as bright and vibrant. And so water is important, but the kind of water that you drink is even probably more important.
Yes.
Because, I hate to say it, but in an effort to make us safe, a lot of things go in our water. And so I always recommend for people that work with me that you filter the water. Now when you do that, you do take out some of the minerals, and we are so mineral deficient right now because our soil has changed over the years, the type of pesticides that we use on our crops, all those kinds of things influence what goes in our water. And so I always recommend a mineral salt. There's so many different kinds. Just a pinch of that makes a huge difference in your water, and it helps you absorb the water. The water then can get into the cells rather than just, go in and go out. And so there are a wide variety to choose from. Some are more salty than others, and so it's kind of fun to play with. But there's Celtic sea salt, which is a gray salt. There's Himalayan pink salt. There is my favorite, which is Redmond salt, and that is just a wide variety of just amazing minerals. And then I found another one the other day, which is Icelandic flake salt, which is a white salt. Yeah. And so please, 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 my plea is do not just use that iodized salt that's in the blue container. It's not good for you.
No, it's not. It really is not. And just stepping back into, hydrating. I mean, every morning I make a plan to drink at least 8 to 16 ounces of water every morning.
Right away.
I mean, because I have been sleeping, and so my body is dehydrated.
That's right.
Because when you sleep, that is when your body is healing.
So
it's repairing and healing. And so your body, even though you may not realize it, the body is so intelligent and is so designed to help us heal that sleeping is a huge healing agent. So it doesn't go to sleep.
Right.
So
it doesn't. It's working.
It is working.
Right. And if you wait until you're thirsty to drink, then you're already dehydrated.
Yes.
That's
correct.
what the rule is. So typically they say to drink half your body weight in ounces of water per day. So if you're a 120-pound female, you're going to drink 60 ounces of water, which is basically about 8 glasses of water a day. And if you add a few minerals to a couple of those glasses of water, those are going to get down at the cellular level and just make all of your organs and your insides just work so much better.
Absolutely. No, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it does, and your skin will reflect it.
Right.
With that.
Right.
So but you won't, because like you said, your eyes can get all, dry looking, and you can get a little bit more baggy and bluish, and so I think it's really important to, when you first wake up, hydrate that water. Sometimes a little pinch of salt helps.
Or lemon. People like lemon.
Yeah.
So they think that detoxifies. So
yeah.
Little lemon, if you like it warm, great. However you can drink it, the best way to drink it. And people ask me, does my coffee count? And I say, no.
No. And that's interesting because a lot of people,
you can have the coffee, but drink the water also.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah.
And it's not easy to get that much water in. You really have to be intentional about it.
So buy a pretty cup.
Yes.
What I did for my mom for Mother's Day is I got her a really pretty stainless steel cup with a straw that holds, I think it holds probably 3 cups of water in there. And so she just has that with her. It goes with her everywhere. It goes with her in the car. It goes with her wherever she's going, and drink it up and then refill it. And by the time you've had 2 of those, you've had enough.
Yes.
And if you want more, great. There's such a thing as overhydrating, so you don't want to overdo it, but you definitely want to make sure you're getting enough water.
I don't think there's a ton of people out there that are overhydrating, but it is an issue. Just disclaimer, it is an issue. But I do believe that's the easiest fix that you can do for your body is to drink water. And like you said, put a little salt in it.
Clean water. Little minerals.
Filtered water, probably
water. And a lot of people have RO systems. I know that most people in their houses have, reverse osmosis. You go in, everybody has that separate tap. And so when they have that tap, then you know that a lot of the minerals have already been taken out. So you definitely want to make sure that you are, if you're not putting those mineral salts in your water, then make sure that you're salting your food with those mineral salts and getting it that way. So there's a lot of different ways that you can get those minerals worked into your system. So
easy fix, like I said. Hydration. But then, but to step a little bit more into the skin, collagen. Collagen is a great, you can buy them in supplements. Yes.
It can be powdered, it can be liquid.
Yes.
And I think sometimes you need to play around with what works with your body, because some of them have a lot of additives with some sweeteners and things in them. Some of them are beef, some of them are plant-based. And so, I think it just takes some trial and error. At least it did for me. I landed on a liquid collagen that I like a lot.
And how did you see it improving your body?
You know what, I will say that I could finally see, I had used a powdered collagen for years. And I think I didn't do anything. And then once I started with these liquid collagen, I feel like it took away some of the fine lines and wrinkles. It definitely made my skin a lot clearer. I think it helped some of my organs work better. So some of the spots I had on my hands and some of those things definitely turned over, and I got fresher looking skin.
That's, so I stepped into the collagen world probably, I don't know, about a couple years ago, and I noticed my hair got a little thicker.
Sure.
Yes, I was just like, oh my gosh, this is awesome, because it was really starting to thin out, and so I just kind of stick with that collagen. And also, if you have osteopenia, having collagen is great for your bones, because that's the foundation of the bones to really help bring in that nutrient. So,
and tell the women, do it for your guys too. I think guys think it's just a thing for females, but it isn't, And so they want better hair, they want stronger bones. When you're doing your collagen, get the hubby the collagen also.
Absolutely, and it will help with joint inflammation. And I mean, there's a lot of benefits to collagen to help the outer as well as the inner. But just really make sure there's no added sugar to that, because that's not, that's what we're trying to avoid.
It tastes good, but no.
Yeah, that's all, we are trying to avoid all that added sugar. So, and then let's talk about, like sunscreens and lotions. We really need to be careful what we put, especially with lotions that are scented. Unfortunately, there's a lot of chemicals, and it can be very toxic to your body. And I mean, have you found that?
I have. Anything that says fragrance on it probably is kind of a poison. So you have to be really careful. And I know that's very hard for people because they're used to their scented candles and their scented laundry soap and all those kinds of things. But truly, all of those things, if you dive deep, and that's probably a whole nother segment, is they work against all of your endocrine glands, all of your, your thyroid and all of the glands that are supposed to work normally. They kind of make them go a little haywire. So
yes, and actually there's quite a bit of studies on those. That does not help, especially when you're in your 40s and going into perimenopause. I mean, it's just, I would just stay away from the fragrance. As I said, I think people need to realize that the skin is an organ.
Right.
And it's not static, and it's not that resilient. And that's why whatever you put on your skin, well, like testosterone. Right. If women are on hormones and they're applying testosterone, they're like, watch it that you don't get it on the creams, don't get it in your pets or your husband or your partner or whoever that is, because that could affect them as well, because they can absorb it through this. Exactly.
Definitely.
So I think it's something that you just should be really conscious of, especially if you're dealing with internal inflammation or that chronic condition, to really be careful of what you're putting on your skin. And sunscreen, unfortunately, it's a catch-22 with that, because you don't want to have the sun rays and the UVs and destroy your skin.
You do need skin. You do need the sun. So vitamin D is really important.
Yes.
So the recommendation is typically early morning. Sun is the best. Yes. You shouldn't have sunscreen on because you really do want to get those sun rays on you. But middle of the afternoon sun, there's a lot of people who have to work outside. I know that there are different apps that now are health-related apps that you can actually punch in the name of your sunscreen or whatever you're using, your soap, your whatever, and it will give you a score of how clean is that, how good is that for you. And so I would always recommend just, type it in. Those are free. Those apps are typically free, and just see what it scores. Because some of the best sunscreens have a lot of zinc oxide in them, and so then you look white. Then you have a whole pasty white face. But so side note, my fiance and I like to go motorcycle riding, and so there's a lot of sun that can get on your skin. But I will use the zinc oxide, and I'm like this ghost riding on the highways. I love it.
But you know what though? But it's important to really protect your
work.
Skin, because you can end up getting skin cancer, and you don't want that. So it's kind of, but there is a toxicity level that you do have to be aware of, and so you're gonna have to balance that of where your body is now to, okay, what should I really kind of put on my skin, because it will absorb it. So.
And I hopefully, gratefully, the fad of laying out in the sun and getting super dark is gone.
Yes, I don't know, but I was the baby oil girl too. You put that baby oil and you just fried the sun. Oh my gosh, that was so bad for us.
It was terrible. We all did it. We all did it.
We all did it.
And now we're paying for it 30 years later.
Yeah,
so
we are. Hopefully that's not in yet.
Well, and I did bring these tools because I wanted to show you.
Oh, that's right. Yeah. So tell me about it.
A lot of people have, like when they wake up in the morning, they might have some puffiness in their face, especially. And so I did bring a jade roller and a gua sha here with us, and you can even use your fingers, because there are little lymph nodes, around our face and our neck. And so if those get plugged up, or if those are not draining properly, then you're going to notice that your eyes are getting puffier, and you don't want that. So the best thing I say is to use your little pinky and just go into the corner, like your little tear duct here, and just gently rub, just kind of make little circles all the way out underneath.
Just back up a little bit, explain
so the lymphatic system?
Yes, the lymphatic system.
So we have, the lymphatic system doesn't work on a pump, and so it really counts on us getting up and moving around in order to move the debris out of our system. So it is like the garbage carrier outer of our bodies. And so we have that. We have what's called in the head a lymphatic system, and then in the rest of the body the lymphatic system. And so everybody knows, if they had somebody with cancer, and they always say, oh well, they maybe took the lymph node, or they checked the lymph nodes, or what have you. There are lymph nodes in a variety of places, and you can look up online where those are, but they are where all that debris gets caught, and then it keeps pushing and moves through the body, and then you excrete it out. So The face has its own, and so we have lymph nodes in our necks and all the way down the sides of our necks. So we want to move everything towards the outside of our face, and that's why some of these things like the gua sha and the foam or the jade rollers are really good, because if you don't want to use your hands, these can be cooled in the refrigerator or the freezer.
Oh, actually, that would feel good.
So then, you know, people you see on, you know, maybe the cucumbers on their eyes or whatever to bring down the swelling. This can do the same type of thing. And basically you would just, you know, lightly roll that over the areas, and you always want to roll it out towards the outside of your face. So you're moving the fluid out so it can go down and out of the body.
Okay.
So, but then, oh, it feels good, that nice cold. So, but you can definitely go nice down the neck as well to get those opened up. And then if you prefer something like this, a lot of people use this all throughout the body, even just to bring everything up and around towards the heart to bring that lymphatic system. Because like I say, it doesn't work like the heart that pumps everything back towards the heart and lungs. This all takes us moving to get it going.
Yeah, it's like carriers of the fluid to get all that nasty stuff. That's
But
inside
you
the
can
body.
use the roller, or you could use this, but usually people say use some type of oil. That way you're not dragging your skin. You're doing a nice little oil treatment too.
Yeah, I hear ya.
Feels good.
Yeah, I hear ya. Well, and then, so I'm sure you've heard about the dry brushing.
Love dry brushing.
Yeah, so do I. I
don't do it very often, but I love it. Yes.
I do, and basically it's just like a dry,
natural bristle.
yes, and you.
Typically, you're going to move everything up towards the heart. And so, you know, I would always work towards the arms up towards the heart, and then you're going to move your legs up towards the heart. You have a big lymph node in the stomach area. You've got them under your armpits, and those are the main ones that we want to get moving. So you're going to go into your arms, you're going to go in your hands and your feet. And
yeah,
just
and
work
it's nice.
everything.
It kind of a little bit exfoliates your body. And I usually do this before I hop into the shower.
Yes.
And then I just kind of do a quick.
Stimulates everything.
It's great.
Get the blood going, and bring some life to your skin as well. And it moves all that.
And it's interesting because when you hop into the shower after you've done that, you definitely feel it a lot more. You're like, it's like your nerves are like standing up, like, okay, you got my attention. You're like, yeah, okay, this is awesome. And then there's another tip to really kind of rejuvenate yourself, and that, I don't know if you heard, but cold showers.
Oh yeah, no.
Yes, I've actually, yes.
I'm not in the cold plunge yet.
Okay.
But it is, but it's good for your skin, but it's also really good for your cell at the mitochondrial level. So people who have a chronic illness, they do a lot when they're trying to rebuild their system.
Yes.
To see how long they can stay in a cold shower or.
Well, because I've actually tried it a couple times.
Good for
so
you.
I was dealing with leaky gut and just trying to heal that.
Right.
And so it wakes you up. I was like, I am high on the world afterwards. I mean, my whole being just vibrated outward, and it lasted for a couple. I mean, it lasted for a while actually, but. It was pretty incredible, but it's a mindset, actually.
And you know, people, I don't know if this is what you've experienced, but if people want to start at it, like for me at a baby level, I simply put my face in the sink with cold water, or I take a washcloth that's icy cold and put that on my face. So I at least just start with one part of the body to try to, you know, we're trying to shock things. It's a way of shocking things into working correctly.
Yes, again. Absolutely. And I know I was a big, where I would take a boil of, this is before like, you know, face humidifiers came out. And so I would boil water and then put a towel over my head and just kind of steam. And then the cold water just kind of just really helps and freshens it and seals everything up. But yeah, that cold shower, that is, it's a mindset, but I tell you, it is dry brush, take a cold shower, and you are alert and you are ready to go with it.
You're right.
So, but it is, but yes, and so cold plunges, I know there's like cold baths.
You can go, they have places you can go where you can actually be totally submerged, and I don't know for how long, but and you get used to it eventually.
I mean, you will get used to it with it. So, and then the last thing I wanted to kind of talk about was red light therapy. Yes. Now, I have not done this yet, but I have a lot of people in the holistic field that does this. Do you
I
do
have,
this?
you know what, I have a lot of friends who have the big tall panels. What I have is a very flexible red light panel that I definitely use. So like if I'm working at my desk for maybe 30 minutes or so, I'll plug it in and I'll just have it sitting next to me so it's shining on me. Or if I have a headache, I may actually just put it on top of my head. I also have a band that has 2 different red lights on it that I put on, and it supposedly filters the blood. That's the technology that's involved in the red light. It goes deep. So it's like a watch that you wear, and it gets there and it works on the blood cell level.
And you've noticed benefits with it?
I definitely have noticed that I feel better when I use it. It's supposed to decrease inflammation and bring some healing to the cells as far as getting blood to come to those cells. And I like having the small thing because I can travel with me, and so that way I know a lot of people who have had knee surgery or whatever, they put the red light on their injuries, heals much better.
Yes, and I've just started tapping into that, and it just seems like a really good healing agent for people who have some chronic conditions or joint pain or headaches. I heard it's wondrous with headaches. So, well, thank you again for showing up, and the Susan certified nutritionist, and have a great day.
Did you know there's a link between diabetes and cardiovascular disease? If you have diabetes, you're more likely to have risk factors associated with cardiovascular disease, including obesity and high blood pressure. Take steps today to reduce your risk for cardiovascular disease, manage your A1C, blood pressure, and cholesterol levels, develop or maintain healthy lifestyle habits, and learn ways to manage stress. Take medicines as prescribed by your doctor. Stop smoking or using other tobacco products. Take diabetes to heart. Visit niddk.nih.gov to learn more.
Where can you watch KPAO Community Television? You know, the channel with all of the local shows. If you live in the Omaha area, Cox Channel 22 HD is your place. If you prefer streaming, go to kpaotvOmaha.org. And now, if you have the Apple TV box, grab our app and watch us there. KPAO on cable, streaming live, and now on Apple TV.
Prediabetes is a serious health condition where blood sugar levels are higher than normal, but not yet high enough to be diagnosed as type 2 diabetes. More than 1 in 3 U.S. adults have prediabetes, but most don't know they have it, and there are usually no symptoms. Making healthy lifestyle changes can make a difference. You can prevent or delay type 2 diabetes, and you can even manage or reverse your prediabetes. Visit niddk.nih.gov to learn more.
KPAO Community Television. It has something new.
Okay, let's talk. What are we making today? Because we're using peppers.
All of your favorite shows
For the dish, I'm Pam Weeks.
are available no matter where you are.
And Marjorie, it's so good to see you.
KPAO on the go. Go to kpaotvOmaha.org. All of your favorites now streaming.
Hi everybody, my name is Susan and I am your functional nutritionist. I'm with Ahava FN, and it is my mission to educate the public on healthier food choices, because we cannot change our lifestyles and we cannot thrive in vitality unless you know what you're putting in your body and what your body is absorbing. And so before we go into the sensible substitution part of the episode, I have to get on my soapbox for a little bit. There's an epidemic. There's an epidemic of sugar overload in our systems, and it is creating so much havoc within our body. It's creating joint pain. It's creating inflammation. Those 3 o'clock fatigue crashes, probably because of too much sugar in your system. I'm not going to go into the scientific background, but the science is there to back it up. And Forbes put out this study, and it's pretty interesting. They say that we are ingesting per year 3,550 pounds of sugar, which is can fill an industrial-sized dumpster. Oh my gosh, that is a crazy amount for our body to absorb. Our bodies are not used to ingesting this much sugar. The FDA says that we should only have this amount of sugar per day. And when you break down that 3,500 a year sugars that we're ingesting, it comes to about 39 teaspoons, which is this right here. That's 39 teaspoons of sugar a day. That's not even a can of Coke. A can of Coke has more sugar than that. So you can just imagine what you're doing to your body when you're putting this much sugar into it. And it is just creating so much havoc and chaos, and it can lead into, you know, type 2 diabetes and the inflammation that can further create more conditions that are just not healthy for us. So you're saying, well, Susan, what can I do? Well, that's where I want to help you. And so with sensible substitutions. One, I'm going to recommend you get rid of this. You get rid of this white refined sugar. It's yummy and it's good and it lights up our brain, but it is so bad for our body. So just get rid of the pantry. We're not going to even look at it. So then you won't even be tempted to cook with it. But these are some great substitutes that you can use. And this is a coconut sugar. A coconut sugar, the reason why it has a little bit more nutrients and has a little bit more minerals in it, so it's going to slow down your digestion of that refined sugar. And it's just a little bit better and a little bit healthier for you. And you can basically substitute one for one. So instead of using that refined sugar, I would use this. And as I said, these are baby steps to start going in the direction to really reducing your sugar intake. Another great one is monk fruit. It's very sweet, it's very fine, but it's also a one-to-one, and it is a great substitute you can use. We have honey. I would recommend a local honey because it will help. It can actually help with your allergies. There's some studies shows that can help with your allergies. So honey is great, and there's a lot of great honey farms, especially in the Nebraska area, that you can just go and see what all their flavors and what their honey is about. A great substitute, maple syrup. I would make it a grade A maple syrup, a fantastic substitute. Stevia is another substitute that you can use. So there's several options out there to get rid of this refined sugar and start reducing it. And if you even had to take a little bit, even a more baby step, you're like, Susan, I'm not ready to get rid of that sugar. I love the taste too much. Then maybe you do. Let's say you put sugar in your coffee, you put a tablespoon, maybe you put a half a tablespoon of refined sugar and then a half a tablespoon of coconut sugar. And then you can slowly move over to 1 table of coconut sugar. And then you can move over to reduce the coconut sugar as you go down the path. It's all about baby steps. It's all about understanding what you are putting in your mouth and the choices that you make. Again, my name is Susan and I'm with Ahava FN, and I just want to bring you sensible substitutions, solutions to your world so you can make better choices.